Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Creative Living Fellowship's Sunday morning online service. Please join me in singing our opening song, Use Me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, and God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Sending lots of love and blessings to you, CLF.
Good morning, beautiful expressions of the universe.
Bye, CLF. Stay safe.
Hola, CLF.
I love you, CLF.
Wonderful. Good morning. I'm Carrie Sherman, a licensed practitioner here at Creative Living Fellowship. Our senior minister, Reverend Dr. Sherry F. McCreary, has the day off, but she'll be back with us next week. I'm delighted to serve as your Sunday service host today, and I welcome you to our Sunday online service. Creative Living Fellowship is an independent religious science church and teaching center, and we honor all paths that lead to the truth. Our vision at CLF is to be a community of care, connection, and creation that opens hearts and incubates dreams. And I personally always like to add, that sees those dreams manifested. We do this through the principles and practices of the science of mind. One of those practices is High Watch. And we have two practitioners this morning, Peter Waring and Reverend Dr. Joyce Bukers, who are holding high watch for us this morning, which means they are sitting in a meditation and prayerful contemplation state as we move through our service this morning. So thank you, Peter, and thank you, Joyce, for your service. Our Sunday service team members who make this all possible are Nicole Jordan and Deb Covington. They're our AV team. David Panessa, who is our music director, and Reverend Mary Jane Hyde and Fran Peck are providing technical support for us. Thank you all for making this service possible. Nicole Jordan will be bringing our announcements to us shortly. After the announcements, there will be a brief gong wash. There will be a few minutes of silence following the gong wash. Then practitioner Monica Zykis will bring us our reading and evocation. But first, here's Nicole with the announcements.
Good morning, Creative Living Fellowship. I'm so happy to be here today to bring you your announcements. Don't meditate alone, meditate with us. Join us for midday meditation at noon, Monday through Thursday in Sacred Practice. You can join us in Zoom, or we are still live streaming to Facebook if you prefer to participate that way. Stay connected and supported with your CLF family and join Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Community Care Connection Zoom meeting at 6:30. This week, Reverend Sherry will be leading us in Life's Purpose Visioning. This is a powerful process that reveals more the more you do it. Visioning is a spiritual practice that aligns you to possibilities greater than you can ever imagine for your experience. Join us this Tuesday and open up, surrender, and catch God's vision for your life. We look forward to seeing you there. Happy holidays. We know that 2020 has been a different kind of year, but we didn't want to give up on one of our cherished traditions for the holiday season, which is the Christmas Angel program sponsored by our community outreach ministry. In the past, we've hung tags on Christmas tree in our foyer, but this year we're going high tech, and we've set up a Sign Up Genius program to help you sign up to provide gifts for people needing some extra cheer this holiday season. And as far as I know, we have almost 20 kids in need this year. This year, our gifts will go to women and children of the Sand Dollar Discovery House, some of our congregant families, and foster children in our community. Please help make Christmas merry and bright for these families by signing up on the Sign Up Genius, or contact Janet Story at Community Outreach for more information. This Friday, December 4th, at 7 p.m. is Quantum Chair Yoga and Meditation with Reverend Christopher Guru Karam Gallagher. Join Reverend Christopher for powerful Kundalini yoga practices and meditation. Remember, you can use text to give to make your contributions to CLF. Simply text the amount you'd like to give to 602-610-1868. And if it's your first time using text to give, you'll be sent a link to help you set up your account. And then it's as easy as texting the amount you'd like to tithe to 602-610-1868. Our Sunday prayer room is available to you after service today. There's no reason to miss out on your post-service prayer stop with a practitioner. Technology enables us to continue to provide this service to you. So immediately after service, head on over to Zoom and let one of our licensed practitioners hold the truth for you, no matter what you're going through, and offer you support through spiritual mind treatment and using our spiritual practices. And after service, we also have Sunday fellowship. Join Reverend Mary Jane Hyde today in Zoom from 11:15 to 12:15 and hang out, discuss the service and what's on your mind or heart. Also today, your children are invited to join our youth ministry weekly for a Zoom lesson at 12 p.m. Lessons are focused on nurturing their spirituality with science of mind practices. Weekly topics are inspired by Reverend Sherry's themes and include social, emotional, growth mindset, and mindfulness practices. You can find the details for all of our events with their links on our website under events, under our Facebook events, posted in your comments, or in our weekly newsletter. And that is it for today's announcement. It is now time to move on to our gong wash, followed by a few moments of silence.
Our reading this morning is from the book, This Thing Called You by Dr. Ernest Holmes, pages 3 and 4. Your soul belongs to the universe. Your mind is an outlet through which the creative intelligence of the universe seeks fulfillment. This is the starting point for investigating the meanings of those impulses, longings, and desires which accompany you through life. You may accept that the source through which they come is real. You may accept that the universe is filled with a divine and infinite presence, perhaps the infinite of yourself, not the infinite of your limited self, but the infinite of the divine self you must be. There must be a pattern of yourself in the invisible. The greatest minds of the ages have accepted that such a pattern exists. Socrates called it his spirit, Jesus his Father in heaven. Some ancient mystics called it Atman. Why don't you just call it you? Oh, and as we close our eyes and let the sound of that gong just reverberate through our cells and reverberate deeper into our consciousness, we know and affirm and remember that there is only the one. The one is called God. And God is joy, God is peace, God is love, God is kindness, God is beauty, God is intelligence, God is ease, flow, and grace, and perfect, whole, and complete. And as God is all these things and so much more, so am I, and so is everyone, because it can be no other way. There is only the one, and I am part of it, as is everyone. And as I speak my word into the law, knowing it is done for the best and highest good, I know and affirm that anything unlike these God qualities leaves my consciousness and goes back into the ethers from whence it came. For as a child of God, I was born worthy. And I was born with innate God qualities, the peace, the love, the beauty, the joy, the intelligence, all these things. And I enjoy knowing and deepening these God qualities and know that I am a conduit, a channel for God's energy flowing through me. And throughout my life, knowing that there is the possibility of expanding this each and every day and deepening these qualities into my life and into my consciousness. Oh, and I send blessings and light to any peoples in the world struggling. And I send blessings to our own congregation, anyone involved in the service, anybody viewing this service. And I send blessings and light to anyone needing a special prayer today, anything special today. And I give great thanks for the immediate manifestation of this prayer and release my word into the law that only says yes. And so it is.
Good morning, CLF. My name is Kirsten Plambeck, and I'm really happy to be with you guys once again. Let's just keep loving on each other.
Encircling the saints, all we need is to reach out, touch all these open hands in front of us. All we need is to hold out His love, share it with each other for all we need. Oh, the sacrifice of letting others in our lives. But when worlds collide, the impact reaches far and wide. Words that love has spoken can set our lives in motion. All we need is to reach out, touch all these open hands in front of us. All we need is to hold out His love, share it with each other for all we need. Sharing His embrace, encircling the saints. All we need is to reach out, touch all these open hands in front of us. All we need is to hold out His love, share it with each other. For all we need is to reach out, touch all these open hands in front of us. All we need is to hold out His love, share it with each other for all we need.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kirsten. We are blessed to have you with us this morning. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce our guest speaker this morning, Reverend Karen Russo. Reverend Karen is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister and the award-winning author of The Money Keys. After training as a practitioner and minister with Dr. Michael Beckwith at the Agape Center, she served for over 10 years at the New Vision Center in North Phoenix. Today, Reverend Karen travels the world from her home in Scottsdale to work with spiritual seekers, coaches, and business owners who want both spiritual inspiration and practical tools to live with more peace, freedom, and abundance. Please welcome Reverend Karen Russo.
Your spiritual rhythm: give, receive, reveal. So let's explore together, what does spiritual rhythm mean? And how do you have an even deeper understanding of the value and the power of a rhythmic approach to Thanksgiving? I'm Reverend Karen Russo, and I want to thank Reverend Sherry McCreary and the entire Creative Living Fellowship community for having me with this message. It's an honor to be with you all. So this idea of spiritual rhythm, it's connected to the principle of circulation. And you can see that image there, the infinity symbol, the giving and receiving. So circulation is a principle, meaning that it's a truth that can be tested. And our Science of Mind teaching is based on the application, study, and understanding of principles that are found across religion, science, philosophy. Circulation means that when it's happening, you know it, because there's vitality. So anything that's healthy, whether it's a human body or a community or a relationship, has healthy circulation, give and take. Your community often will start with Reverend Sherry asking, breathe. And breathing is a beautiful, powerful metaphor and symbol for circulation. We breathe in, we breathe out. And when we're in a healthy, rhythmic flow, whether it's in breath, whether it's in creation, whether it's in relating, there's something that happens where the natural and powerful creative energy of life itself, of which we are one, flows through us. So in circulation, there's a gift for us about our practice of gratitude. So as we close out this litany of Thanksgiving that you've been involved with, we're going to look at the rhythm, how our lives are built through action and experienced through awareness. So there's a rhythm there within spirit that is changeless and the humanity that we live in. So a couple things here: built through action, experienced through awareness. Changeless spiritual truth doesn't mean neutral, dead, passive. Changeless spiritual reality includes the harmony of yes and no, up and down, darkness and light. Changeless spiritual reality has paradoxically already complete and yet ever evolving. And there's something in us that knows this, and that's why we're grateful. That's why we're grateful as we remember the spiritual truth. And how we walk that out, or how we reveal that, is through living our human lives as an expression of spirituality. And that's where this understanding that we build through action and experience through awareness, and both are really important. And I want to make the caveat here that action includes spiritual action, such as prayer, meditation, visioning, practices, fellowship, community, worship. And awareness includes the stillness of meditation, but it's also being present in an active situation. When we're in awareness, it's the greater in us that is present during the ups and downs of human experience. So how does that relate to giving thanks? Giving is action. Giving is action. So let's talk about this a little bit. Giving is action. I loved that Reverend Sherry spoke about in the It Takes Guts message, that it takes courage to give thanks in the midst of conditions that are challenging. And conditions have been challenging. Conditions have been what conditions are. They come and they go. Sometimes we experience them as good or bad, as up or down, but conditions are the changeable experience of life. And to give thanks in the midst of conditions is an action that we choose to take. So I'm going to lead us through a gratitude giving practice that gives you an opportunity to use that courage, that guts in terms of giving thanks. So I'll show the slide and describe it, and then I'll lead you through it. I call this practice guerrilla gratitude, meaning gorilla as in tough person's gratitude. And there's 3 components. So the first is giving thanks for what's not happening. And this is an interesting thing to do. But, for example, throughout this year of pandemic and political strife and injustices and challenges and economic hardship, I have been very blessed to live a very privileged life with, wonderful financial security and, beloved relationship. And I Zoom with my mom every day. And, she's doing well back in Maryland. Like, there's a lot I can be grateful for that in the external world is not happening to me or in my personal life. So that's the first piece of this gratitude practice. Consciously looking around, let yourself do it, and give thanks for the things that are not happening. The next piece is giving thanks in the external, in the conditions for what is happening. And this could be as simple as seeing a sunrise or sunset for those of us who are blessed to live in the Southwest. It could be a hot cup of coffee. It could be enjoying the music that you enjoy here at Creative Living Fellowship. Just grateful for the things that are. And then the final piece of this gratitude practice is to move within, to be grateful for what's true, and what's true about ourselves, which is what is true about God. So this is a practice, move from the external, what's not happening to me, what is happening to me, what's true, what is a spiritual reality that exists. So for example, I've been quite grateful for grace. Grace has been there through many of the different emotional ups and downs of the year. So that's the practice. What's not happening, what is happening, what's true. So I'll leave that up and ask you to just kind of, no matter what you're doing or how you're receiving the service, give yourself a little eyes soft, take a deep breath in, let it out. And start with maybe something that has you agitated, where it's hard to find the gratitude. And if you don't have something for yourself personally, oh my goodness, do the practice for places in our world where there's some agitation. So feel that, feel that situation, that energy. Let it be there. And now open your awareness. And right here in this moment with this experience, almost, and you can even move your head from side to side a little bit. and eyes can be half closed. What can you give thanks for that is not occurring? What pain, problem, challenge are you not experiencing? Let yourself feel the appreciation, the relief of that. And then staying present and continuing a bit of a scan of conditions. Let yourself notice what is happening that you can give thanks for. And if you have to start with the smallest thing that you can hear and see and experience and be here for this message, just this, even if it's just the smallest thing, start with what you can be grateful for here. Feel how that lifts you up, the maturity and courage to give thanks for what is. And now bring your attention inward. You can almost close the eyes completely and bring the attention within. And feel in the midst of this, the changeless, the truth, the realities of being, spiritual qualities that you are grateful for because they are within you. Might be peace, might be a little inkling of joy, feeling of love or freedom, wholeness, grace, right action, beauty. What is true in this moment? And wiggle fingers and toes and open eyes and shake a little bit and just come back to yourself. And let yourself experience. I'm going to just look right at you. Let yourself experience what that is. What is that? That capacity for you to give thanks in a ritualized way. What does that do for your consciousness? So congratulations on that. You are a generous giver of thanks. And doing that spiritual action, it starts to build a muscle of appreciation that gives you, just as Reverend Sherry said, the courage, the guts to be a thanksgiving individual. And we don't stop there. So the other piece about our practice is that if we've got a strong giving practice, we also want to have a strong receptivity practice. So receiving is awareness. Receiving is the being present. Gratitude, it like necessitates, it includes a sense of receptivity, because we can't be grateful for something we can't notice or experience or be aware of. So the sense of awareness, the insight about what is happening that activates our sense of gratitude, that goes to that piece about living each day to see what we can be aware of, that we can feel grateful in and for. So that was something I also felt that was beautiful in the messages this month, this idea that, our security does not come from circumstances. So we know that. And in today's world, in America, in this country, for many, things that seemed secure, like a government that does this, or a portfolio that does that, or a company that does this, or a healthcare system that does that. Like many of the institutions and things and people and systems, which never could give us spiritual security, are not even kind of behaving in ways that would give us kind of a mental and emotional security. We cannot rely on the things of this world to give us what they cannot. So the choice, the sweet, precious choice to live each day in an awareness of what we do have and experience, that is powerful. It's also powerful because it activates a sense of having. So this is you in your havingness. And you can see that some of my imagery comes from the work that I do in prosperity teachings. So, imagine this is you experiencing that sense of receptivity, of having, of appreciation. That's a critical part of the practice of Thanksgiving. And I'm going to say another word about having. So we cannot get any more of something than we are willing to have and experience for ourselves. And that's why Thanksgiving is such a powerful spiritual practice, is that it's not so much like, let's do Thanksgiving so we can accumulate more love or good or health or possessions or money or something. But it's this, for us to be receptive, powerful beings, we need to have the ability to notice what is happening and enjoy it, to have it. That's a really, really important capacity. You cannot go get a relationship with someone else that you're not willing to have for yourself. So this I have it, I experience it, I know what it's like is really vital. One of my dear teachers, also a teacher of Cheryl and Reverend Sherry, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, used to say, the enlightened person is grateful for what others take for granted. The enlightened person is grateful for what others take for granted. So what is it that you have? Let yourself be a haver, a receiver. That's a powerful part of Thanksgiving. And this connects us to the piece where I'm calling it reveal, like reveal what's true. So the principle of unity. When we experience having, and we realize that our havingness is a spiritual truth, that within us we have infinite, abundant reality, we are experiencing our oneness, our unity with the whole. And I use this image, which is, with our Science of Mind teaching symbol, the circle represents the eternal, no beginning, no end. And, the creative process, I also sometimes see it as a heart. It's the love of the divine through our consciousness being brought into our experience. So that principle of oneness, I'll tell you how I'm grateful that it's shown up for me. So in the recent political season, as a minister, I am always in spiritual teaching about how, vote your values, let's let our principles show up. And as a personal citizen, I also was active doing a whole bunch of political activism in some of the campaigns. And so as I was doing phone calling or putting out signs or text banking or some of these other activities, there were times when, and maybe it's just me in this political season, but I would get this energy of oh, things have got to go this way. I'm dehydrated, but I've got to make some more calls, just this energy of have to do. And it was so important for me to put a pause on that timeout and to bring my spiritual awareness into whatever I was doing. Because absolutely, I felt guided to be active in, some promotion and some activity around particular campaigns and causes. And yet I was much better of service to the people I'm calling or the things that I'm doing when I was coming from unity, when I was seeing with the eyes of oneness. And that's what Reverend Sherry also said, is this lovingness that comes from Thanksgiving, is we see one another with the eyes of oneness. And I had a good experience. You know, we're all here on living our lives on Zoom and Skype and live streams and other stuff. And I was in the middle of one activity where there was some phone banking training, and there were many people on the screen, and some were easily understanding the technology and others not so much. And I could feel my desire to like tell people what to do in the chat or give this advice or talk. And I was like, let me be of service here. I am going to see with the eyes of oneness. So I'm sure some of you have done this too. I just went through every square in the Zoom gallery and just was like, I bless you, Mary Beth. I bless you, Ralph. I see you whole. Like I see you and me. I see just like really just loving. And it brought this sense of like humor and joy and grace into my own experience. So I invite you, whatever your situations and circumstances that you are in, to operate with this sense of how can I see with the eyes of oneness? It activates a sense of gratitude that tells the truth about who we are. You see, when we're in Thanksgiving, when we're in that rhythm, we're giving through action, receiving through awareness. When we're in that rhythm of Thanksgiving, what we reveal is spiritual reality, which is the truth about you and me and all of us. And that's why the reading was selected, the You Belong to the Universe. So each and every one of us, I'm grateful for the truth of the divine, which is in me. I'm grateful that it's in you. I'm grateful that it's in all of us. Let your Thanksgiving reveal who you are. So that is our beautiful conclusion of the Litany of Thanksgiving. I so appreciate being here with you and being in this beautiful creative conversation. So let us anchor this with a spiritual mind treatment. So join me please in prayer. Oh, so I'm so grateful to just turn to Mother, Father, God, one creative, infinite source, to recognize that the one life of God is all grace, all generosity, all love, power, truth, wholeness, freedom, abundance, beauty, peace. God is, and God is all there is, as me, as all. And so this word is a celebration for all who connect to this prayer, the entire community of the Creative Living Fellowship, and we extend to include all spiritual communities, all paths to divine, brothers, sisters, family, all beings, all people, all places. Recognizing the oneness of God, what I accept and claim is that there is a spiritual rhythm of our Thanksgiving, a natural, vital flow. This healthy flow reveals itself in conversations and communication and relationship that are filled with love and clarity and wholeness. I experience and claim and know that this rhythm of Thanksgiving shows itself in our bodies and in the bodies of our affairs, in wholeness and right action, in recovery and communication, in grace and kindness and peace and justice and love. And so knowing that these rhythms of Thanksgiving are serving our spiritual reality and our human experiences, I am grateful. I am grateful that this word is operated upon by a law that says, yes, I give thanks, I let it be, knowing that God is good and all is revealed. We release this word, we trust the law. Knowing this is so, together we say, and so it is.
So it is. Reverend Karen, thank you so much for being with us today. You are truly an inspiration, your beautiful message, and thank you for sharing your light with us this morning. This is now the time we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. CLF is a tithing church. We invite you to join us in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. You can click the donate link in our website or in the comments in Zoom or in Facebook. You can also even use your smartphone to text to give. And we truly, truly appreciate your continued financial support of Creative Living Fellowship. Let us now repeat our offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. And so it is. Here again is Kirsten Plambeck with our offering music.
It's waiting for you, knocking at your door. Every moment of truth, when your heart hits the floor, and you're on your knees, and love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. You don't have a job, don't pay all of your bills, it won't buy you a home in Beverly Hills, but it's all you need. Oh, now we'll hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. It is the first day of the rest of your life. This is the first day of the rest of your life. 'Cause even in the dark, you can still see the light. Gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Oh, love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone. Oh, love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm, and I'll be my brother's keeper, so the whole world will know that we're not alone.
Thank you, Kirsten. That was fantastic. And thank you so much to you two for being with us today, making our service so special this morning. We appreciate you. So I have a couple closing announcements for you. There are several opportunities for prayer by our practitioners now. You can go into a private live Zoom prayer room with a practitioner for prayer right after the service. Our practitioners are on call during the week, so you can have live prayer if you give them a call during the week as well. If you would prefer to submit a written prayer request, you may do so at prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. Don't forget fellowship after service. This week it's being hosted by Reverend Mary Jane Hyde, so that will start at 11:15. Youth ministry on Zoom. after service also. That begins at noon today. Community Connection meeting every Tuesday evening with Dr. Sherry. That's from 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. on Tuesday evenings. Use the Treatment for Supply every day. Science of Mind textbook, page 262. Most importantly, please continue to connect with each other and support each other in this extraordinary time. Thank you for being with us today. Dr. Sherry will be back with us next week. And now, our closing song, I Release and I Let Go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit